I drove all night to get to this secluded landfill, the last spot the face mask police were looking for non-maskers. The landfill smelled of rotting food, and there were tiny fruit flies that would paw for any residue of sugar in an open mouth. But we were defying the ordinances to take a stand. Supervirus or mass hysteria was not going to stop us from social bonding. This was our Burning Man. How did you get invited to this? It was like Fight Club, and it wasn't normal karaoke. This was 2 people performed, and the better went on to the next round. The loser got called a libtard and had to put on a Biden 2020 face mask. First round, you and your opponent were randomly given a song. 1 verse, 1 chorus, then switch. The first matchup was 2 females. The song, Pour Some Sugar on Me. The first of the 2 was too tanned in the elbow crease, but toned. She might not care about her skin, but she did about what was under it. I could see why she was confident to go first. I blinked my eyes watching her, and like a cartoon flip book, I caught glimpses of her doing this from her different decades. The girl who followed her gave up on the words, and her dance moves were less specific to the beat, but she had her youth, and for the chorus, she just said into the mic, "I promise more dances if you pick me to the next round." When I heard the whistling and cheering of the males, it made me disappointed. Even in what I thought was this sanctuary with my ideological brothers and sisters, there was a large crowd that could not be trusted. There wasn't a lot of us left in the karaoke. 2 guys competing in this round I thought could potentially both beat me. The one was funny, and the other had this I don't care attitude, although that did not impress me much. I recognized he had the hearts of many of the women in the crowd. He didn't even sing the chorus, but put his handgun over his heart and said, "This landfill is the last place for an alpha male, and alpha males don't need jokes. Jokes are for beta libtards." Then, in a country twang, he sung, "Alphas have a truck, alphas have a gun. Now shout if you wanna hop on my truck and have some alpha fun." And the stage collapsed with all the females that rushed it. I was in the next standoff. Should I change course and try to go more alpha? Seemed a lot simpler, but I remembered what Jesus said. So what if you win the whole world but lose your soul? My soul didn't care about what was devolving into winning a worldly popularity contest, or the hearts of worldly alpha huntresses. In my soul, I had a message to share. That was my goal. This round, we got to choose our own song. I tied my bandana, Bret Michaels style, and went to the mic. I began, "Every rose has a thorn," the traditional way. But when I got to the chorus, it was time for my soul's message. So instead I sang, "Every unicorn has a horn." I got off the stage, although I didn't win. I got off the stage and started to walk to my minivan. I took off my Biden 2020 face mask, and there, leaning on my van, was the most important journalist in the universe. She said, "I want to interview you about the unicorn choices in the lyrics." I asked, "Shouldn't you be covering the most important things going on in the world?" She said, "This was more important." I had to humbly agree. She said, "What is it about unicorns?" I said, "In the book of Philippians, it says, whatever is pure, noble, lovely, think about such things. Thus the unicorn." She said, "The way you sang it, it was like the unicorn was personal, not just an ideal. Do you personally know any unicorns?" I said, "Yeah, I was in love with one, but she's a witch now." Her head tilted, and she said, "Isn't that the problem with coming up with an ideal? Is everything that falls short becomes kindle to be burned at that altar. I pulled out a picture of my daughters. The ideal is what I aim at, to guide them, the Star of Bethlehem, while I'm their shepherd. And I don't burn witches. God said vengeance is his. But I know that this culture now mocks unicorns and praises witches who use their magic to defy the Creator's will. The journalist said, I can't resist my feelings any further. I have to admit I'm falling in love with you. Will you marry me? I rubbed my eyes. Here we go. Another one who is attracted but will retract when I tell her my standards. I said, do you think you're a unicorn? She said, I'm not one yet, but if you know how to shepherd unicorns, can't you guide me? I said, not unless you're around me 24/7, and I sleep on the floor. She said, why? I pulled up the Bible app on my phone to show her where Jesus said, you can't serve two masters. I said, so you're either with me full time or I don't accept your application. She said, no, I can do that. Quitting the most important journalist in the universe is not even a minor inconvenience if I can instead be a unicorn. I meant, why do you sleep on the floor? I said, because I don't want to have any treasure in this world. And Jesus said where you store your treasure, your heart is. So if we store our treasure just in each other and not in things or others, our hearts will be secure and not scattered by every new wind. She pulled me in close with a hug and she said, I can't choose if I more love your magical or practical ways.